Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video we're going to be checking out Abomination, rank 5 Abomination and Alliance Quest map 7, specifically on Acid Wash path, whilst we have Sosaya Doom modifier. And yeah, it turns out Abomination now with the Red Guardian synergy is actually legitimately viable option for AQ map 7 Acid Wash path, and bringing in Red Guardian is well, hardly a sacrifice, as well as he is quite suitable to deal with some of the mini bosses and some of the fights in later on path sections as well. And additionally, unlike the kind of like newfound fame gotten King Root, Abomination actually finishes the fights without you having to spend 3 hours clearing your section 1. So it does objectively seem like a far better option for anyone who actually has Abomination. Obviously, Abomination is still a relatively prestigious trophy champ-ish kind of thing, because he's not in the basic crystal and as a 5-star, and he is a 6-star though, but obviously having a 6-star Abomination is not as likely. But if you do have an Abomination and if you need somebody for Acid Wash path, then we can see that he is doing a fantastic job. I also was said that if you are running Suicide Masteries, then you are able to finish these fights out within like 25 hits or so, because obviously not only Abomination will be hitting harder itself, but your poison damage will also scale up, because Abomination's Red Guardian synergy thing inflicts poison based on your modified attack, and that is like super important. And yeah, so suicides would help Abomination quite drastically, especially since Abomination is also poison immune. Therefore, you will only have to deal with double edge, and you're not really losing all that much health to Suicide Masteries either. So yeah, pretty cool. And here we can see that the hood is absolutely melting. Obviously, also due to Acid Wash, you are inflicting 25% more poison damage than you normally would, and we can see that all of that stuff is adding up quite quickly, and there is hardly ever like a moment that there isn't a poison buff active on opponent. But yeah, so as I mumble away in this video, I just wanted to give another shout out to White Mummy, who sent me this video, this footage of him clearing AQ map 7, because yeah, I suspected Abomination would be cool, but it was very nice to get an confirmation that Abomination and Red Guardian work fantastic in map 7, and it's like a legitimate usable option right now for that entire lane. And keep in mind, this is also in day 5, so opponents are pretty much as stacked as it can be, especially because New Nation obviously is also in large alliance. I think they're in top 20 in AQ, so prestige is quite up there, and obviously epic modifiers also increase opponents' health and attack even further. And yeah, so pretty much this is as stacked opponents as you're going to find in any Alliance Quest map. And we can see that Abomination is putting in work, and still this is fourth fight for Abomination. That's 87%. We do have this fight and then another fight against Red Skull. Obviously the fight against Red Skull is going to go somewhat a bit slower, because you don't really get to crit at all against that bloke. But hey, you know, it is what it is. Also definitely how to pay White Mummy a compliment for dealing with Sosai Doom as well as he has, and quite obviously he hasn't gotten a single debuff yet on these fights as well. And here we can see that we have a cool interaction of poison absolutely mitigating that Iron Man regen, obviously because poison debuff just shut down the regen extremely effectively. 30% reduced regen potency for each poison. You get a bunch of them on, and they don't get to regen at all whatsoever. And yeah, so now next fight against 40k Red Skull. So that is again super stacked Red Skull. and Abomination is going to take care of him like a nobody's business. Obviously, again, this isn't going to be quite as quick as previous fights, because as I mentioned before, you can't really crit against Red Skull unless you have a way how to get rid of those armor buffs. But still, it's quite evident that Abomination is doing a fantastic job and is obviously much quicker than the King Groot. Unfortunately, obviously, you don't get the sustainability you do get with King Groot, because King Groot regens like an absolute madman. So with Abomination, you have a lot less room for error. But pretty much any other champion that isn't King Groot doesn't really regen quite as much, I believe, unless you're using like Deadpool or Wolverine or something like that. But obviously then you wouldn't be tackling acid wash lanes. But yes, so here we can see that 50 hits in, our Red Skull is going down steady. And yeah, that will pretty much also do for this video. I'm not going to stretch it out too much. So if you did like the video, please do feel free to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit all the buttons, share the video with your alliance mates, especially if you are playing map 7 or considering to play map 7. Perhaps you find this interesting and or useful. Perhaps you want to try it out yourself. I do understand that Abomination is not exactly the champion everybody would want to take to rank 5, but in case you do, then at least you have a solid use for Abomination. But yeah, anyways, that is it for today, and I'm gonna catch you guys soon. See ya.